I want to listen your voice. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I can't hear you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you very much. My name is Olivier, and tonight I'm going to be the MC. So I would like to encourage each and everyone to be here, present, and to be so attentive. Thank you. Without taking too much of your time, I would like to ask you with a very big round of applause as we welcome the CEO of Nziza Training Academy to give the opening remarks. Thank you. The stage is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for attending our session tonight. I would like to thank everyone who gave me this opportunity to welcome you all my seniors in leadership, engineering, and education sector. Before we get started, I would like to recognize or express my sincere appreciation to anyone generously helped us to make this event together to become a success. We all have gathered here to attend this ceremony to certify trained professionals in architectural design, structural engineering, quantity surveying, construction project management, and bridge engineering. We, as a Skills Development Center for Professionals and Fresh College Graduates, aim to achieve greater heights in changing educated people's lives. This ceremony intends to present to you where we reach in our journey and how we are boldly up to turn Rwanda into knowledge-based economy. Without further ado, it is my privilege to welcome our guest of honor, the Chief Technical Advisor in the Ministry of Education. He's a Gatabazi Pascal, and he is an engineer. We're going to be speaking the same language in this house. We are also blessed to be with President of Federation of African Engineering Organizations, Engineer Kazawadi Papias. He is our keynote speaker of tonight. It can be very expensive if I leave stage without recognizing Senior Executive Secretary of Institution of Engineers, Rwanda. You already know him, eh? You already know the one who registered you to be recognized as professionals in Rwanda. We are also with Lahim Nzabamwita, Rwanda Development Board, Chief Skills Office. We are also with two experts that represent South Korean Midas. They are here to present us or to help us adopt geotechnical and bridge engineering technologies in Rwanda. They are two, they can do like this. We are with Venuste Bahizi, representing IPRC Gishari, one of Rwanda Polytechnic colleges. We are with different contracting and design companies. Those include takeoff. We are with team leader of takeoff design office. There might be other guests, but I don't know if they have arrived here. I will be saying the company, if they are here, they raise hand and come forward because we have their seats here. We should be with the managing director of Haikojek. Is he here? Not yet. We should be with the project manager, construction department manager of Horizon, Engineer Cesar. Is he here? Not yet. So we will recognize them at the end of the speech. Maybe they are still taking COVID test. So as I conclude, I cannot forget the team behind the success and the forward movement of Nziza Training Academy. We are with the trainers. Starting from light, we are with architect Oga Ogbole, Gregory Anthony. Can get... He's our head of department, architectural department, with 30 years of experience. So if you meet our trained people in architecture, you already know the results. We are with Engineer Gapfiz, PA, our Autodesk approved instructor in highway and roads design. We are with Adolphe Muneza, structural engineer. We are with Waisenje Jean-Pierre, structural engineer. We are with quantity surveyor, Samuel. Other people, I can't see them here. They are outside there. You saw people in the black suits, like this of mine. They are making sure everything is organized. So thank you very much for being here. We are pleased to be with you tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I believe each and everyone is now feeling welcomed. Thank you very much, CEO, for welcoming us. And now, without taking too much of your time, I would like to tell you a short quote that says, education is the key to the future. For those who want to be tomorrow, they prepare it today. And one thing is that future is not something that we go into, but rather is something that we prepare. And what you've been doing in Nziza is preparing your future, is creating your future. So next on the stage is going to be someone with 30 years of experience. We're going to hear more about industry-based experience. He's going to be talking about experience. So I would like to ask you to give a round of applause as we welcome Oga Gregory Anthony for his presentation. Thank you very much. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. MC. It's a privilege being in our midst this evening. So the Chief Technical Advisor, Ministry of Education, the CEO, Nziza Training Academy, the President, Federation of African Engineering Organization, parents and guardians, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, graduates, I say good evening. My name is Oga Ogbole, an architect and the head of Department of Architecture, Nziza Training Academy. I've been mandated to make a speech on behalf of all the instructors and also to give my little experience of architecture in the field of architecture. And today is not in the field of law because I'm also a lawyer. Before I go on, I would like to say congratulations again to our graduates. I see some of them came here with their families, their friends, their spouses. And today is a great day, and it's a day to celebrate with your families and friends, a day you have been waiting for since you enrolled at Nziza Training Academy. I would like to begin my speech by taking a quote from one of the greatest scientists, a famous and foremost, he's been famous and he's been very foremost for being one of the greatest minds of our time, in the person of Albert Einstein, of blessed memory, but his word still lives on, and his word has also been a guiding principle to some of us on education, and this is what he said, and I'd like to quote. He said, "Education is not the learning of facts, but training of the mind to think." I've been an architect for about 30 years now, and I've been a lawyer for some time too. I've been in education for almost 20 years within the East African bloc from Uganda to Tanzania, and today I'm here with you in Rwanda, the promised land. Rwanda is our promised land. We look forward to see where we can bring the headquarters of African Union to Rwanda, because it's been a very conducive environment. And we look forward to things like that to happen here. And some of us are emotional about Rwanda itself. Murakoze cyane. For some of you, it's waiting to finish the program and get on with your life. To many of you, your graduation is just the next step in your education. And to some of you, you are headed to the university, an institute or college, apprenticeship training. To some of you, a daunting task for preparing for the career you'd like to pursue in life. But for all of you, as you return the caps and gowns you're wearing today and take your certificates home, remember this. The certificate you receive today is like your insurance policy, with the premium being paid fully by your hard work over the past few months at Nziza Training Academy. The value of that certificate depends on how much effort you put into your training and what you do with it, even as you go on in your life. Use it, and use it very well. Take advantage of what it offers. Statistics have shown that your certificate is your passport to higher earning.
Thank you very much, Oga. One of the things he said while concluding, he urged us to do not fail Nziza Training Academy, to go out there and use the knowledge we've got well. And now, next on the stage, we're going to receive the graduate representative. Please put your hands together as we welcome the graduate representative to give his speech. Use this stage.
Thank you. Chief Technical Advisor, Ministry of Education, CEO of the Training Academy, leaders, experts here, member of government and private institution, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Charles, civil engineer by professional, and work at construction coordinator at Africa University in Nziza. Over to that, I'm proud trained professional construction management at Nziza Training Academy. I'm honored to speak on behalf of all graduates today in construction management, structural engineering, bridge engineering, factory surveying. We are happy to witness this day as to mark the end of a very challenging but worth journey of transformation for all of us. We really appreciate Nziza Training Academy's vision, providing the required skills in the architecture, engineering, and construction industry that the market runner has been lacking for some time. To our instructor and training staff, thank you for your effortless and sleepless night and trying out what we came looking for in the Nziza Training Academy met our expectation. The government position here present. Nziza Training Academy trained the skills from the men within engineering and construction technology that has been lacking in our usual practices. These skills are what is going to make Rwanda's engineering and construction industry stand out above the rest. You can understand that as now Rwanda is standing on international marketplaces. We all come here as trained people, with degree from different university, with different experience, all of us. This is the right time for us to confirm the need for technology in our daily services, as we already have access to it and using it day to day. And our employers can testify that we made a lot of changes and we brought it to the companies, and after being technologically trained by Nziza Training Academy. The knowledge we have gained here has placed us at the top of those that have not passed here, due to the extensive training offered by experienced professional and imported expert. To the private sectors and investors, engineering and construction, we are confident to say we are here to offer you the best. So this graduation marked the end of this journey, but as well as a new beginning of transformation to all of us. Any employer in-house right now, we need to tell you that the employees need to be trained, otherwise the industry will be left you behind, and we keep leading you, and that will keep leading you to in poor performances and less productivity. To my fellow graduate, a lot has been given to us, so a lot is expected from us. I know the journey has been very long, vertical, due to some hardship made by the pandemic, which has made it hard for us and all of us, including our families, that we have to work some sleepless nights to make it through. So we all managed to make it today. So, congratulations. Remember the word CEO sometimes say, there is power in reading. So keep reading, keep learning new skills. And go outside, make the difference. We all have responsibility to improve our infrastructure and continue to improve the livelihood of our fellow Rwandans across the country. As I conclude my speech, I wish to commend the work done by Academy for their investment and sticking to the vision and heightening the use of technology in Rwanda in architecture, engineering, and construction industry. And we are all of us proud to be in Nziza Training Academy family. Congratulations to all of us again, and thank you for your audience, for your attention. Thank you.
We are going to welcome on the stage Engineer Kazawadi, as he is going to give us a keynote speech of today. Please put your hands together as we welcome him on the stage.
Thank you, MC. The CEO, Nziza Academy, the Chief Technical Advisor, Ministry of Education, the Secretary General, Institution of Engineers, Rwanda, the Chief Skills Officer, distinguished guests, and graduates. I'm very pleased to stand here before you to address my speech to the graduates. I would like to share my experience in terms of how I see and perceive Nziza Academy. We all know that education is a gradual process. But when we graduate, sometimes we tend to be so excited, but actually that is when the learning begins. I believe the starting of Nziza was a persuasion of the person by the CEO to demonstrate that learning is a process that never ends. It actually goes with your lifetime. And any person who loves or practices learning is always updated, and the knowledge does not expire. Recently, I read an article which was emphasizing that the traditional way of learning should give certificates and degrees with expiry dates. Indeed, looking at how things are changing and have kept changing, if someone graduated 10 years ago and have not updated his skills, today it may be very difficult for him to apply or to even solve problems that he is expected to. With the knowledge, every time you also need skills. And skills is the purpose for Nziza Academy, to facilitate engineering students and practitioners so that their knowledge which they gained at different times remain updated. But we all believe that when you learn and get the certificates without practice, you can never be an expert. So, to be an expert, we are required to have three main things, which are knowledge, skills, and experience. I do believe that Nziza is providing the skills, but the practice also exposes everyone to apply the skills and the knowledge that he gets. Dear graduates, I would like to encourage you to keep improving your knowledge for you to be and stay relevant in the sector and industry. This will be achieved by observing each one of you at least to have 5 people. And when I say 5 people, I want to be understood as it does not require 5 individuals, but in each and everyone's time and opportunity, he needs to evaluate and assess whether he or she has the 5 people that I'm about to talk about. In order for you to succeed with your expertise that now you are putting up together, we need to have the cheerleader first. Because learning is a process and life is a learning experience, we need to have someone who is always with us, not necessarily physically, but whom we feel he is our cheer. The reason for having him is that when we are discouraged or disappointed, we don't lose hope and we keep trying. The second person that we need is a mentor. And in this regard, I see Nziza Academy as a network or an opportunity for mentorship. That's why we have the Midas experts who have come here to share their knowledge and experience with you. But knowing that sometimes the learning process, it reaches where it becomes hard and frustrating. So, you need someone to push us, who is the third person whom I can call a coach. Sometimes I have seen that many people do not differentiate between a mentor and a coach. But the simpler experience or the simpler way of differentiating them is that the mentor always takes you beyond your comfort zone. That is the only difference. Sometimes it can be too tricky, too frustrating, too complicated. If you don't have a coach, you may not exceed your comfort zone. And when you stay in the comfort zone, learning becomes so complicated. Not only learning, but even achieving anything might just remain as a dream. The fourth person that I want you to have or think of having one is a friend. And in this case, sometimes we don't know or we don't understand properly how to know who is a friend. But the best way of describing a friend is someone whom, when you are happy, he is happy. When you are in pain, he is in pain. So you share all the experiences. Why? Because life or the workplace, it can never always be flat or steep. It will reach a point where you feel somehow you're about to give up. When you have a friend whom you share your frustrations, disappointments, it can give you another room of motivation to carry on. The fifth person that you need is a peer. I understand most of you here are professionals, engineers, architects, surveyors. Every time you need to equate yourself with someone who does the same things. You know, in engineering experience, sometimes things can get tough and too problematic. But a peer can give you a simple formula without reading volumes of books, without applying. With nowadays technology, sometimes it's just clicking. So, these 5 people that I have just mentioned, for the success of graduates to be relevant on the market, each and every one of you needs to find these 5 people. And as I can see, at least Nziza Academy is the center for linking these purposes for the success of everyone and ultimately the country. Without taking much of your time, I thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much for good advices that you came to give us. I believe you all want to be successful, and he told us the things that we need to have. But I would like to highlight the one that he said that we need mentors. We need those people who take us out of our comfort zone. You may be graduating today and you feel that you've made it. But you need to get out of your comfort zone and start going out.
Today marks our 3rd certification ceremony, and we are proud to be able to host it at this very good hotel. I am fully pleased to witness you all here in this ceremony, and it is my privilege to address you all on behalf of Nziza Training Academy. Your presence is what matters most, and the sacrifices you have made to be able to join us tonight is too high to be taken for granted. Nziza Training Academy has been initiated to assist the purpose of connecting the gap between what colleges are teaching and the industry, classroom knowledge and practical skill, qualification and qualities through the provision of project delivery-based training programs. We do not just train people, we enable people to perform. We enable people to handle projects using what is latest technologies, because we know theories and understandings. Universities are doing a great job. There is a still gap between what universities or colleges are currently teaching and what is needed at the marketplace. Some people complain too much, suggesting that the current curriculum should be revised and updated. I'm not among them. For me, what traditional colleges and schools are doing is okay. And they are almost enough if students run well and teachers or lecturers are able to deliver what is supposed to be delivered. If you need industry to move with colleges, the speed can never be the same. There is no way the speed of industry can meet the speed of colleges. I will clarify this like that. According to UNESCO 2020 fact sheet, there were 94 million teachers across the globe. At the same time, according to World Meters, there were 7.7 billion people in the world. So, if you say colleges should be going at the same speed as industry, you mean 94 million teachers should teach the updated content that meets the updates made by 7.7 billion. Will it work? Here is the solution. There is no problem without solution. The solution is modern industry-based training system. And training providers need to be serious. They need to be driven by impacts, by seeing people making things happen. I loved when President of Federation of African Engineering Organization, when he said, he read an article where degrees or certificates should have expiry date. Our trained people are here. They were about to beat us some days ago because we provided certificates with expiry date. And now they know we were not against you. We are preparing you of what comes next. There is no certificate without expiry date, especially in these technology-based practices. Because technology, even now as I speak, there are a lot of things that are changing in the technology. So if we give you non-expiry certificate, then you go in architecture saying you are trained by Nziza, and in a few days you're gonna be selling shoes downtown, and still you are a certified architectural designer. No, we don't need that to happen. Rwanda and Rwanda and the whole world need serious training providers to support traditional education for it to be able to work. Traditional education will never be able to work without support or accompaniment from outside, from companies, from industry people. The training system does not need many formalities and approvals, because you know when approvals and formalities becomes too much, quality is lost already. Training providers will need to be driven by impacts more than anything else. They will have to be driven by seeing people being trained to make things happen. There is still a big market for training in Rwanda and beyond. Nziza Training Academy cannot satisfy them all. That is why we had selected one and most critical part of development. Everywhere you will go, technology leads. And that's what Nziza Training Academy tackle. Even if many people think technology is only cybersecurity and the application development, we at Nziza Training Academy discovered that the lack of efficient technology use in infrastructural and other construction-related projects is what making foreign companies the best fit for our local projects. We have collaborated with different colleges to help them acquire technologies for free or for affordable cost, like never before. We have signed MOUs with different higher learning institutions that permit us to introduce technologies in traditional curriculums, which is bringing hope for the future. However, there is still a long way to go, which I will leave for government officials and decision makers to find an easy way for us to reach the end beneficiaries that are students. The government of Rwanda has put a lot of effort in TVET and vocational training. This initiative needs my applause and everyone's applause because it has changed the lives of many people. However, the big percentages of the people are school dropouts, semi-skilled and non-skilled people. There is another serious problem that needs a higher attention: unemployed university graduates. If you go outside there, you will find mechanical engineers with a degree selling shoes. You will find civil engineers with a degree laying bricks, mixing a cement, driving a wheelbarrow at the site. And unfortunately, they are proud of that. Civil engineers should not lay bricks or mixing a cement. Having university graduates that are comfortable with doing cheap things is another terrible problem that needs a quick solution. If a university graduate is comfortable with mixing a cement and sand, who is going to build skyscrapers in Kigali? Who is going to do that technical study? Who is going to participate in construction of train, railway from Tanzania across East African countries? You already know the answer. Foreign companies. Nziza Training Academy has taken some steps. Why should we import foreign companies to do the projects instead of bringing them to upskill our local people, to enable them to handle those projects? There is only one institution in Rwanda that is doing that. You already know the name. Nziza Training Academy, we have already attacked this problem. There are many corners to attack because even theoretical understanding, concept development, as President displayed on the screen, there is a convey, there is a design, there is implementation, there is operations. All those different areas needs to be attacked. They need to be worked on to enable our local people to perform, to enable our local people to stand out at the international market. People we traded in structural engineering. Kazasomao Jean-Claude. Is he here? Kazasomao Jean-Claude. He is on site. But what I need to mention, he is the only one Rwandan figured in Turkey due to his structural design performance. He could not perform that without technology. This year in 2022, we have been approved to attend Turkish Prota Design Awards. That's the first time in East Africa, the first country we attend. In other years, there were South Africa, Ghana, and Nigeria. Why always South and Western countries? That was our question. That's why we provided scholarships to best university performers. If you know Albert from IPR Simpsons, he was the #1 in Rwanda Polytechnic. We directly gave him a scholarship because we know he knows that understanding, he knows that manual calculations, but he needs technology to be able to outstand. That's why we financially supported him, and Kazasomao was the best in structural engineering, determinate and indeterminate structures in University of Rwanda. I read his transcript. That's when I and my team, we decided to offer him a scholarship. He's among the best. He's now recruited by Recon Speed Engineering, the company which is building some hotels and apartments around the golf course. That is the technology. We already have degrees, and it is okay we are okay with that. But technology is what matters. That's why we need decision makers who are here tonight to understand that these infrastructure-related industries, they need technology. We need an easy way to penetrate and make our companies and local institutions adopt these technologies. We have some accomplishments since we started. In 2020, we imported Turkish expert in structural and earthquakes engineering. Now, if you need an expert in structural analysis, do not go in foreign countries. We are working with RDB, that's why they are the representative of Chief Skills Office is here. The purpose is we upskill people, we register them. So we find a reason to tell the government to not go abroad again, because we have enabled people in our local market. In 2021, we secured world's top accreditation in design and engineering industry of Autodesk. Anyone here knows Autodesk. I don't need to explain too much, because even in universities, you are learning AutoCAD. But Autodesk is what is giant, because it has more than 90 solutions, technology solutions in architecture, engineering, construction, manufacturing, media, and production. This accreditation has a lot of benefit to the country, but it will direct me to thank Institution of Engineers Rwanda to help us consume the best out of this accreditation. We are organizing a lot of training for the local people to make sure our engineers are enabled to perform, are enabled to accomplish something, which will direct me to the accreditation of Midas, South Korean giant in bridge and geotechnical engineering. They are now here. You're gonna see them on the stage because they have a lot of to share with Rwandan market. We have visited different consulting companies. We saw the problems they have. We visited the coast, that's why their representative is here. We visited the Astric International, we visited the Horizon Construction, we visited a lot of companies. Midas has the solutions. This company have been looking for many years. Now it is in Rwanda on discounted price. It's not expensive like you can go in another countries, because we know the value of our currency compared to dollars. That's why we make sure if we bring technology, we make sure it is affordable. And for the colleges, many offers are for free, even if it is still hard to adopt. In 2021, we secured accreditation in quantity surveying. Quantity surveyors are here. They are going to be certified. They have been struggling to execute bill of quantities with hands, calculators, pens, using pencils to be able to use them. Hey, it was a struggle. We imported expert Plan Swift representative in Asia, Middle East, and African countries. He represents the software across over 100 countries. It was his first time in Rwanda. He delivered the training to our local quantity surveyors. That is the technologies we are bringing in the local. We deal with architecture, engineering, construction, and manufacturing. Upcoming in the coming month, we are starting training for manufacturing and production students across universities. This is for free because we deal with Autodesk to offer this opportunity to our local students to be able to adopt technology in the cloud. It's no longer standalone. We are moving to BIM, we are moving in the cloud. And when you speak this language, Americans have been listening to the same language since 1970. But now it's arriving in Rwanda in 2022. You understand the job that needs to be done? It requires all our hands on deck. That's why I encourage anyone in the house to play his part or her part, because this will not be achieved by Nziza only. And we appreciate your presence. We appreciate your time to listen to this while you leave this house. Know that technology is changing everything. Go in your company, make sure you adopt technology. That's how we will stand out as Rwanda. Rwanda doesn't have to stand out in tourism, in good politics, in good leadership. We need to stand out in engineering also. And technology is at the front line. Thank you very much.
Rwanda also need to stand out in engineering, not only in tourism, not only in good governance, but also in technology. As we're talking about technology, next on the stage, Mr. CEO has been talking about it. We're going to welcome Engineer Pankaj and Engineer Nivedita from Midas to share the experience. Welcome on the stage.
Very good evening to all of you. First and foremost, I would like to thank the CEO, Mr. Alexander, for giving us this opportunity to present ourselves and to present the solutions and the vision that Midas is carrying. Furthermore, I would like to extend warm greetings to all of you on behalf of Midas IT as a whole, to the honorable guests we have in the room, and to Midas users that we have, to prospect users that we are seeing in near future, and to all the engineering professions available in this room. So just to give a brief introduction about myself, a few of you must be knowing as we attended an extensive training course last week. My name is Pankaj. I'm in charge for Africa region on behalf of Midas IT as a business development manager. And I deal with almost, I have experience of dealing with Middle East market, and now I'm in charge for Africa. So I would be taking you through a brief presentation on what vision that Midas is carrying and what was the intention of our tour to Rwanda. And I hope you would be agreeing to me at the end of the presentation on that. Midas holds #1 market share, particularly talking about the civil engineering industry. We have our software solutions and business areas, particularly in terms of bridge engineering, in building engineering, in geotechnical and mechanical engineering. As we have our existence in multiple domains of civil engineering, Midas holds #1 market share in the industry, which is not the benefit available with any other competent company that provides software for civil engineering. We have our distribution centers in more than 110 number of countries, and we have engineers, more than 600 engineers working day and night at Midas to deliver these solutions to the industry. We feel proud to claim that more than 30,000 number of licenses have been distributed across worldwide and are our satisfied users. To introduce you to the software solutions that Midas offers, we have our existence in the solutions for analysis and design for construction of structures. So I would like to introduce you to a few of the flagship projects that have been completed using Midas softwares across globe. Talking about the first and foremost Moscow Tower, which is a twisting tower that is done using Midas software, and none of the other softwares have this capability to design an irregular structure like Moscow Tower. Talking about the world's tallest building, that's Burj Khalifa. The analysis of this Burj Khalifa tower was done using Midas building design software, and the foundation optimization was again carried out in Midas software solutions for geotechnical as well. One of the most complex stadium which was used for Olympics, Beijing National Stadium. This was analyzed using Midas building software package. To introduce you to the next family product that we have on board, talking about the flagship softwares we offer, Midas Civil, that's for bridges. So we have our software for civil engineering and structural engineering analysis called Midas Civil, which is an all-in-one tool for bridge design. Again, talking about the applications that are being carried out across world for bridges, the first and foremost Sutong Bridge, which is the first longest cable stay bridge in the world. We have our application as Rusky Island Bridge, which is the second longest cable stay bridge that is constructed across world. And that is analyzed and designed completely using Midas software. We have our application as Icheon Bridge, which is the longest cable stay bridge in Korea, and Guawan Bridge, which is the longest suspension bridge that is built in Korea. We also have our software solutions for the geotechnical engineering, and talking about the applications, the metro projects that we have on board, the King's Cross station in London, which was analyzed completely in Midas geotechnical software package. Also, we have our application for the Dubai Tower in Qatar, for which the foundation analysis was carried out using Midas geotechnical package. Now, without taking much of your time, I would like to introduce you to the flagship software we have for bridge design. That's Midas Civil. It's an all-in-one tool for structural design of bridges. I hope you would agree to me at the end of the presentation on that. I would like to introduce you quickly to the benefits that Midas offers. Talking about the first and foremost wizard template features we have in Midas Civil. Engineers struggle day and night to complete the modeling of bridges, and we have a solution for that. We offer wizard template features which allows quick modeling of bridges. We have wizard features for almost all type of bridges, carrying like box culverts, RC slab bridges, RC frame bridges, grillage model wizard, truss bridge wizard, as well as for complex bridges like suspension bridges, cable stayed and box girder bridges. I would give you a brief introduction on how these wizard features help. So I have a short, it's basically a three-step process. Like we have to define the geometry of the bridge in the wizard. The first step is to define the longitudinal configuration, where you give the input parameters for geometry in longitudinal direction. The second one is transverse configuration, where you give the direction, the geometric parameters definition in the transverse direction. And in the third and most important step, the load definition. So currently I was visiting few of the companies here in Rwanda, and we saw that people are carrying out manual calculation, which is a approximate way of calculating the loads and applying the loads on that. We have wizard feature that helps in accurate calculation of the loads. So you prepare a most accurate and optimized model for analysis and design. We have similar wizard feature for RC slab bridges as well. Again, it's just a three-step process, and to the feedback that we got from the training engineers, they completed a bridge design in a single day itself, for which they are taking like around months currently. So it's a three-step process, and just on a click of go, the software would provide you with a 3D model of your bridge. Similarly, we have wizard for complex type of bridges as well, particularly talking about pre-stressed composite girder bridges. We have wizard feature in Midas Civil, which helps in quick generation of the model file. Not just that, Midas Civil helps in definition of the user-defined section properties, for which engineers are not usually versed with. They try to use the section files of standard database, which is already available in the software, but in addition to that, user has a flexibility to define their own section material in the software, as well as the section sizes. We have quick tools in Midas Civil software. So particularly talking about the tendon generation, engineers are suffering to generate the tendons that are optimized and to get the profile to be generated. So for that, we have tendon generator in Midas Civil, which is an easy and fast generation tool for tendon profile. Furthermore, I would like to introduce you to the analysis options that we have in Midas Civil. So talking about the practicality, it supports most of the analysis that are required by the industry. It can handle the static analysis of the structure for the dead loads and for the superimposed dead loads. Talking about moving load analysis, which is a challenge to be analyzed here in this country to the softwares that are being used currently, we have standard codes in the software that can define the vehicles as per the standard code guidelines. So we have this moving load analysis definition as per British standards, as per Euro standards, as well as per ASTO standards in the software, which are currently being used in Rwanda. I would introduce you to how this moving load feature works in Midas Civil. So it's just again a 4-step process. You select the international code which is required. So we have international codes like British, Euro and ASTO, as I mentioned. Once the code is selected, you have different vehicle class in the software which are as per the codal guidelines. You choose the vehicle class.
The next step is to define the traffic lane. So it's like you actually defining a lane on the software and bringing your imagination to reality. The next step is to define the moving load case. So you command the software on which lane which vehicle is running, and that's it. The software can take forward the analysis for moving load. So the next analysis type we have is dynamic analysis. Currently, for earthquake and response spectrum analysis definition, the engineers are using some, engineers are currently not even performing the dynamic analysis. They are just performing the static analysis in the country. But imagine if you have an earthquake and you are not prepared for that. So we have in software response spectrum analysis definition. You select the standard code as per BS, as per CBFIP, and other codes are available in the software. You choose that, and software can apply that earthquake loading on your structure to see and experience the behavior of structure in those extreme situations. The most important problem that we noticed here in Rwanda is the soft soil and the marshy lands on which these structures are being constructed. So in order to simulate that in the software, we have this soil structure interaction analysis feature in Midas Civil, which can actually simulate the soil springs by so that you can rest your structure on that and have the realistic behavior of your structure using Midas Civil software. We were having discussions on the construction stage analysis in Midas Civil because it's important that you consider the structural sequence construction during the construction stage, because there are several partial loads that are being applied on the structure while you're constructing them. So that can be simulated in Midas Civil using this analysis feature. Now, you must be having question, what type of bridges does Midas Civil handle? I have an answer to that. It has wide range of applications and can handle most of the type of bridges. We have categorized bridges in 3 sectors. Talking about the basic bridges, it can handle applications like culverts, RC girder bridges, RC slab bridges, RC integral bridges, truss bridges, and steel bridges. The second and intermediate category of bridges, the composite girder bridges. So Midas has its application and capability to design steel composite as well as pre-stressed girder bridges, which are currently not being constructed in the industry, but are the future of industry. These bridges are widely being constructed across Africa and across the country. It can also handle the advanced type of bridges. Talking particularly about the segmental bridges, we have wizard features for box girder type of bridges like balance cantilever, incremental launching, full staging method, and also for cable stayed suspension and extra dose type of bridges, which are future of the industry, and we are already prepared for that. So at Midas, we have this vision of bringing your innovations to realities. That was it for Midas Civil, but it's not yet over. We have solutions for the geotechnical segment as well. And at Midas, we say experience the change and change the experience by using Midas GTSNX, which is a 3D finite element based software for geotechnical analysis and engineering. I would like to quickly introduce you to the applications and type of analysis that can be performed in Midas GTSNX. The first and foremost is static analysis. So you can perform the linear static and nonlinear static analysis in Midas GTSNX software, simulating your ground conditions actually in the software. We have applications and analysis features for construction stage as well. Imagine you have a structure beside and you excavate it for 20 meters. You won't be doing 20 meters at once. How do you simulate that partial excavation process? You can use this feature in Midas GTSNX to simulate this partial sequence that you are excavating or constructing. Consolidation analysis, the feature that we have in Midas Civil, wherein you can simulate the ground conditions and perform the consolidation analysis. Then again, we have analysis option for stress seepage as well. And this coupled analysis is a limitation in mostly all geotechnical software solutions that are available in the industry. So if you have an embankment wherein you have a river body flowing around, you imagine you have to perform the slope stability for that as well as the seepage analysis. How do you perform this coupled analysis together? It's not possible without Midas yet. So talking about this couple, we definitely have this analysis options for seepage analysis and slope stability analysis. As Rwanda is a country of 1,000 hills, we definitely have slopes across country. And we came across a problem that we could sense that mountains are moving all together. How do you save that? So we have this slope stability analysis option in Midas GTS-NX, which can help the engineers of the industry. I would like to quickly introduce you to the geotechnical applications that can be dealt with using Midas software. So if you have any complex foundations, you have this feature in Midas GTS-NX, and its application is for foundations, for metro underground structures, for deep excavation projects. Midas GTS-NX can be used. It has capabilities to analyze and model pile foundations. You can perform consolidation analysis. You can perform the tunneling in 2D and 3D so as to get the stress results and get the lining design done in Midas GTS-NX. You can also perform the seepage analysis for the embankment and for the slopes so as to determine the shear failure plane and the pore pressures. You can also simulate the dam structures in Midas GTS-NX. Slope stability analysis is possible, and we can also perform the dynamic analysis in Midas GTS-NX software. Most importantly, we have this application in terms of ground improvement techniques. So for example, if you have a soil that is failing due to shear, how do you deal with it? How do you strengthen that? We have options in Midas GTS-NX where you can do the different analysis by using geogrids, rock berms, nailings, anchors, and piles, which you can assign in the software to see if your current geotechnical slope or ground is stable or unstable. So to summarize for you, it's an absolute truth that we are creating technology to assure that in future the world will become better by using Midas solutions. Moreover, we are seeking new ideas which will make future more developed. So that is what we are here for at Midas, and we look forward to welcome you all in following us on this absolute truth. Thank you.
We are going to get the speech from the guest of honor. Welcome to the stage, our guest of honor, with a very big round of applause.
Hello, muraho neza. Amakuru yanyu. Training zagenze neza. Mukanya ndasoma speech. Ariko nari nshatse kuvuga amarangamutima yanjye yuko ibi bintu ni byiza. Yes, ndashaka gushimira Nziza. I like the confidence as well. Ndashaka gushima ubufatanye umuntu abona. Institution of Engineers Rwanda, ndatekereza ibi bishoboka kubera ubufatanye bwiza. So ni byiza cyane rero. I agree with everyone. This is the way to go. Training in hizi ni ngombwa. Nahoze nganira my brother Steven yuko nubundi n'abakiri mu universities is partnership, ngira ngo tujye tubiganira na engineer Kazawari naye twavuganye kenshi ibintu bya academia industry partnership niho ubridginga gap ya skills. I like Alexander uko yabivuze, skills tubona muri universities nibyo ariko ntago zishobora kuba kimwe na skills ziri ku murimo. Igeze ku murimo nibwo umetiriza skills, noneho ugakenera training nk'izi ngizi rero. It is the way to go. Model yo kuzana experts bakaza hano nabyita ni multiple effect izanye expert abantu benshi bariga kurusha kohereza umuntu umwe cyangwa babiri. So I wanted to appreciate this the wonderful model and it's the way to go. So having that said, now I can read the speech. Yes, nitwa Pascal Gatabazi. Benshi wenda turaziranye. Yes, my name is Pascal Gatabazi. I'm going to read the speech on behalf of the Minister of State in charge of ICT and TVET, who was invited and was supposed to be here as a guest of honor. But I'm privileged to represent her. So I'm going to read the speech. Chief Executive Officer, Nziza Training Academy, Mr. Alexandre. I'm sure you're doing a good job. Representative of institutions here present. We have the Federation of, don't make a mistake, the Federation of Association of Engineers Organization. I think I've made a mistake, but my brother Papias, and we also know you very well. You did also a very good job when you were at our Institution of Engineers in Rwanda, which Stephen is heading now. So I like the complementarity. We want also to recognize the presence from RDB, Chief Skills Office, my brother Rahim. We want also to appreciate and acknowledge being here with the trainers of this wonderful training. And we want also to celebrate the trainees, the graduates of today. So on behalf of Honorable Minister of State in charge of TVET and ICT, I'm pleased to be here and officiate the third graduation ceremony of Nziza Training Academy, Nziza Training Academy, which is a great occasion to witness a good number of graduates successfully completed their training, as it has been already mentioned, training in structural and earthquake engineering, steel structural design, bridge engineering, architectural design, quantity surveying, and construction management. One of your representatives has already said it. You worked very hard. So your hard work has just resulted into today's graduation. It is a major milestone in your lives that not many have been able to achieve. So congratulations. I have already said it. Many congratulations to the management and the staff of Nziza Training Academy for the efforts made to support the students acquire this knowledge, skills, attitude, and values. I believe there is element of values as well. We also want to acknowledge that it was also done in tough times of COVID, and we are celebrating you now as very good technicians with true Rwandan values, if I can call it so. So I think Alexandre has already mentioned it. Nziza Training Academy produces critical skills required in the labor market. We want to thank you again for your contribution towards socio-economic transformation of our people and our nation. To the graduates, we recognize your efforts and hard work to reach this milestone. Hard working should continue to be part of your work ethics, and future career. Success does not just land on a lazy person. That is like obvious to say. You have to work hard. You have to work and work sometimes more. I want to quote a statement from a great leader of this nation who always insists and aspires to work hard. So he repeatedly say, work hard until it pains, because poverty hurts more. We have already heard from others that we are in the world of changing technology. So we are in the new age where change is the only constant. Change is the only constant. I encourage you to embrace change. Be inspired to push the boundaries, innovate, and be adaptive. I think Engineer Papias already mentioned it. This is a great occasion to thank those people who have helped graduates all along their journey in one way or the other, be it employer, be it yourself as well, can be self-sponsored. When we were preparing these talking points, I was not sure of the profile, so some of the points here is like those supported by parents as well, but it has been a journey. So we've been supported by different people, including the parents as well. Today's graduation is an immense result of those combination of people who supported us along the way. So congratulations to those who helped us along the way. Because a lot has been said from the CEO himself, from the trainers, so I'm not going to take much of your time. So to conclude, once again, all the best to you, all the graduates. We wish you every success as you embark on your respective career journey. Ndabashimiye cyane, murakoze cyane.
Thank you very much. And now it's the time for certification. But before, I would like, as they prepare them, I would like to share a quote that says that science can amuse and fascinate us all, but it is engineering that changes the world.
There is a certificate of proficiency. It is given to the people who attended 3 parts of our training. It means 3 months of indoor training, 3 months of project study, and days of expert seminar. This certificate mentions different performance levels. So if you hire someone who graduated in Nziza, consider the performance level because it is mentioned. If you do not consider it, and then your recruited employee fails you, it will not be Nziza. But if you find performance level mentioned as high, employ this person and leave, he is capable to handle everything. We have selected two types of certificates. The first one is people who managed to achieve high performance level. You already know the meaning. They are excellent, excellent. So we already, I will also issue the certificate for the ladies we have. You know ladies first.